Ooh, yeah, baby. You are listening to the Risenhauer podcast featuring yours truly, Risenhauer, the Great Poupon, and John M. Laws. Hey, John, real quick, can you talk to them about our sponsors for 1 second?
No problem. Our first sponsor for today is going to be No Name Advertisement, featuring such great fine products as the No Name Product X, which can pretty much do anything that you need it to do. It's a little bit different from No Name Y, which is a product that we had last year.
Watch out.
But still the same No Name products or featuring your name here.
Hey, on the serious tip, if you do want to be a sponsor for the show, you can hit us up at therizpod@yahoo.com. I mean, come on, man. Look how hard we are pushing nothing. TheRizPod@yahoo.com. All right, hit us up. Sponsorship spots are going as little as 2 cents right now, so go ahead, jump in early. And now, let's get back to the show. Bobby Brown.
Yeah, surprise.
Wow, sneaky good
Yeah.
actor, man.
I was surprised that he didn't get. Well, I won't say he didn't get more. Maybe he turned it down. I don't know.
Sure,
but
yeah.
I'm surprised he wasn't offered and appeared in more films.
Yeah, well, and and now that's the thing I was thinking, because you know how, hey man, pretty much Martin has that Tupac effect,
Right.
Where it's like anybody who is doing any kind of music around that time got
Right.
some story about Tupac,
Right, right.
MC Hammer, so,
Yep.
you'd be like, how did that, Madonna,
Yep.
So, wait, what?
Like, how did that
all
happen?
these people, anybody who was kind of famous around there, Rosie Perez,
Yeah.
and me and Tupac, and it's like, dude, how did this dude have this much time?
Right.
Martin Lawrence kind of has same effect with that 90s actor, mass media thing.
Yeah.
So you see, you got Bobby Brown in this movie.
Uh-huh.
You have Faizon Love,
Awesome.
is a young cat in this movie. Tracy Morgan
Was in the movie.
has a bit role,
Bartender.
in this movie. You know what I'm saying? And he also, like he had
Yeah.
Hustle Man on the Martin Show.
Yeah.
This is like kind of the first time we saw this dude.
Yep.
My man Smitty, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then Daryl
Chill.
Chill, Mitchell, who actually kind of had one of the more successful
Yeah.
careers going late 90s into the early 2000s until he had that
The accident.
that motorcycle accident. But yeah, that's and you see his progression from House Party,
Yeah.
to that character to some of the other TV shows he did. I remember he had that role on the Dan Larroquette show.
Yeah, the
And
John Larroquette.
John Larroquette show.
Yep.
Yeah, ooh, we almost had another blooper. John Larroquette show. And I remember that was like a really interesting character. He played the
Yeah.
hell out of that. You know what I mean?
did.
So, but that's what I'm saying is that Martin really, you could tell that was him bringing these people
Yeah.
in.
And
You know what I mean?
that's the beautiful part about him being the director, and I think he was the screenwriter on this too.
Yeah, he was like co-writer.
Yeah, co-writer on the screenplay. When you have a position of, I'll say, ownership or authority, you can bring in the people that you like to work with, and it turns out to be a good film, especially for Martin with this one.
Yeah, yeah. And then, hey, Lynn Whitfield.
Yeah, man.
Man, she tore this role up.
Yeah,
Man, the little monologue she had at the end,
yeah.
where she's talking about, we are sick of being your boy toys and blah blah blah. Man, I like that. I felt for her. I
Yeah.
felt for women at that moment. Like,
Right.
oh damn.
I felt like it's about to be bad.
Right. But I mean, just that whole moment of her talking about how, like, yo, man, you pick us up, play with us, and then
Right.
set us down. It's like, yo, whoa, that was like one of the first times in my life where I was like, seeing something like that, and I said, like, girl, shut up. That's part of the game. It was like, no, that is kind of wrong.
Right. That's not a good look.
You know? So, yeah. So, hey, here we are. We start off with the flick. My man is chilling. He's a promoter.
Yep.
For a club, and that's one thing that we a lot of times I think us black people who live in the Midwest, we don't understand because we have some promoters here, here in Milwaukee.
Right.
But the club scene isn't lucrative enough for that to be your job, your main job.
Right.
But like you go to places like Atlanta, you go to, Chicago, New York, LA.
Yep.
Man, it is cats who work 9 to 5 as club promoters because you have enough African Americans there.
Yep.
You have enough black people making money.
Yep.
This, that, and the other who have disposable income enough, and they looking for some place to chill.
Right.
Without getting their head blown off.
Yep.
Find some nice ladies or some nice dudes, this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
And, that's the one thing that I think gets lost on us sometimes, in cities like this is that there are larger cities with a black socialite atmosphere.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Where, man, it's enough movers and shakers at these particular clubs that it means something to be a VIP there or to, work there as a promoter and this, that, and the other.
And to that point in Milwaukee, well, I'll say Midwest. I'll agree with you on the Midwest. It just seems that since I'll say Milwaukee specifically, and for this point, that it seems like this like you said, the upper echelon socialite African Americans here, at a certain point they disappear, or they just don't frequent the clubs that the average black person will go to, or they don't go on the same time, whatever the case may be. So it's interesting, like you said, to see another market where they can support a vibrant nightlife, and you can have these cross sections of socioeconomic lifestyles for black people, all within the black diaspora, I guess.
Right.
You'll have it in there, and it's interesting because you want to have it for a smaller market, but then you understand where we are.
Yeah, man. And so and I've seen that with certain friends of mine where it's like you get to a certain point. And you look up and you're like, man, I can't go there.
Yeah.
I get jacked over there.
Right.
I can't go there because they're going to get mad at me if I really turn up. You know what I mean? I can't just be throwing it out. You know what I mean? All that kind of stuff. So you do, like you said, you actually kind of get scooped to the other side.
Yep.
And it's sometimes I'll be like, man, I don't even blame you, brother.
Yeah, you understand completely.
100%. It is what it is. But so that was a really interesting thing that I saw in there. It's like, that's right, man. It is, cats who like make a living off of promoting and you're just getting people to places.
Right.
So that was a really interesting thing. Now, the one thing I want to point out, one actor was his name? Pretty Ricky, what they call him?
Oh, Miguel Nunez.
Miguel Nunez Jr. Dog, I gotta give a shout out to this cat, man. This dude played the black pretty boy douchebag.
Oh yeah,
better than anybody else in the world. I liken him to I don't know what his name is, but that cat that was the Cobra Khan.
Oh, Johnny.
Sweep the leg. The guy who fought Danielson at the end of Karate Kid.
Yeah.
You remember how in the 80s dude was always the jerk?
Yeah.
Like the jerk boyfriend,
Right.
the jerk. It's like that's who this cat was. He was the black
jerk
boyfriend who was always trying to take your girl.
Right.
In every movie, show, TV show, this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
And dude does it great. He does it great, man. Because that's the thing. I was thinking when I saw it is that because he played a role like that on the Martin Show.
Yeah.
He's like Pretty Ricky, what they call him.
Pretty Ricky,
You're right. He was the cat who got all the girls and stuff like that in high school. And I'm like, how cool must this cat be?
Right.
To be able to take that role in. Because, a lot of times with those actors, I think you do the best at acting a role that you're not like.
Right.
You know what I mean? I watched The Wire, and the cat Wood Harris, who plays Avon.
Yeah.
When you see him as himself, my man is mild mannered.
Yeah.
And this, that, and the other. And it's like, how does he play? But he plays a thug.
Very well.
Man, some of the scariest thugs are soldiers. You remember in Vulnerable? Soldiers, not clowns.
Man.
He plays an incredible thug, but I think a lot of that is because he has the ability to look from the outside in and say, oh, okay, these are the, these are the things that you have to bring to the character visually, and, or viscerally and stuff like that. So it's like, this cat can't be that dude. Yeah. Miguel Nunez. He can't be that dude. He's just an acting dude. And cat say, hey, man, you look like a pretty nigga. Go on and act like that, da-da-da-da-da.
But he's so good.
But boy, he does it well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, over the course of the movie, he is the son of a chicken restaurant.
Fixins.
Chicken Fixins empire. Yeah. He's like the kid. He drives a Porsche and stuff like that. And he's vying for the affections of Martin's true love interest, because that's what's going on in this film, is that Martin has several women that he's dealing with as a promoter. He and Bobby Brown, T in the movie, have made a code, which is you never tell them you love them, and that's how you stay out of craziness. And what happens is a young lady, who I guess they grew up with, and stuff like that. She comes back from the military while he's in the midst of, being a playboy, and it turns out that's the lady who has his heart, and that's who Regina King is playing. But pride comes before the fall, right? Yeah. Because he runs into Lynn Whitfield around this time too, right? And Brandy is her name in the movie. He runs into her around this time, and his boy makes a bet with him, right? And it's like, I bet you can't hit that, right?
Without saying you love her.
Without saying you love her. And, oh God, how many times have you made bad decisions? And not just with women, but I'm saying like just made bad decisions just because somebody told you can't.
Right. just to spite somebody.
Right. Like, man, I bet I will. And then now you left with this. Now you got a car note you can't handle. Or,
right.
Or, you know what I'm saying? Or you
something.
Took a flight you ain't supposed to. All kind of stuff. Just because you trying to, show your boy that you can do it. And so they run into Lynn Whitfield. Bobby Brown, T, of course, calls her stuck up. He tries to holler at her. He calls her stuck up. Martin swoops in. And he goes through a lot of stuff, just trying to, basically trying to hit.
Yeah,
right?
Basically.
And that's one thing about the movie that I like. I really, the part where he was like wooing her, so to speak. At the end of the day, that was some smooth shit. The stuff they was doing, and how he rolled up to it. She turned out to be a realtor, and she had her own business.
Very good.
And wait, before we do that though, we are almost at time. Why don't we take a break?
All right.
Let's take a break. Pause for the cause of sponsorship, and we'll be right back with the Risen Howard Podcast.
The Risen Howard Podcast brought to you by Drizown Iced Tea. If you can't swim, you're bound to Drizown.